This is my first ever overland safari and my main concern is, what are we going to eat? A little birdie told me that you don't starve on these trips, so I've heard. But does that mean we're just going to be shoving baked beans down our face the whole time? Or is it a eat what you kill kind of scenario? In this video, I'm going to show you everything we ate on our 10-day overland safari from Windhoek to Victoria Falls. Now, on an overland safari, your guides are also your chefs. So when meals are being prepared out the overland truck, the guides are responsible for getting the food ready. But there's also participation from fellow tour goers, whether that be setting up the table, helping with the food preparations, or cleaning up. It's an all hands-on approach. So let's find out everything we ate right now. Our first official meal on safari was lunch prepared at the overland truck by our chefs, aka our guides.
Mr. Chef, what is on the menu today?
We got fried chicken, and we got some potato salad, and also a green salad. And next is our dessert, which is the watermelon.
Oh yeah.
In this heat, that's the best thing that will work for you.
Yes sir. 100%.
For people with special dietary requirements, they get their own food that's prepared separately from the other food, so there's no cross-contamination or anything like that. In this case, the vegetarian people had some veggie kebabs and there's a good variety of salads as well. Dinner was served from the lodge, and honestly, you can never go wrong with a burger and chips. Day 2 breakfast was also prepared at the overland truck.
What is on the menu today?
We got fried eggs by request, up to what you like. If you want scrambled egg, you just sunny side up, we give it to you.
Legend.
Right.
For lunch, we parked off on the side of the road and we all participated in making a super delicious roadside meal. We had some garlic bread, some ham, some tomatoes, lettuce, cucumbers, some pizza bread, and for people that don't eat meat, there was some tuna that was more than enough to go around, so I grabbed myself some too, and of course some cheese and watermelon. This was super tasty. There's also some juices and stuff. I really enjoyed this meal. Look at me. Once again, we had another dinner from the lodge and this was super good. I believe it's like chicken schnitzel, some mushrooms and some veggies. Guys, I think I might have just won life. Black coffee on the Kavango River in a boat. Come on. It's different. This breakfast was super special. We started with some cold breakfast. You can see some yogurt, some scones, some ham, cheese, tomatoes, all sorts of like coffees and juices and stuff like that. And then the main was bacon and eggs, which was super good. We also had some sausages there as well. I love this meal. Lunch was again from Lemmy restaurant, our overland truck, and here we had some couscous, a little bit of stir fry, and mixed it with some tuna. This went down really well. And for dinner we had what we call in South Africa a braai, but Americans or Europeans would probably call it a barbecue. But this is a traditional meal that you're always going to eat on overland safari. You can see we had some spinach, some baked beans, some boerewors of course, and we whip it up on the fire. This was so good. I want to have this meal again for sure. At this point, you're starting to get it. Breakfast is most of the time served at Lemmy restaurant, and here you can see more of the stuff that we generally have for breakfast. Some people don't want to have eggs or whatever, so they would have some cereal, there's some yogurt, but this morning we were having French toast as the main feature of the breakfast, and I enjoyed this as well. Today for lunch we parked off on the side of the road. It was raining, but the overland truck does have a cover to protect the food station, and I helped whip up some mincemeat that we would go on to put in wraps with some tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce and onions. This was super nice, and yeah, it was a nice roadside meal with the boys and girls from Safari. dinner time, another large dinner, this time in the Boma restaurant. You know, sometimes where you eating can really set the tone. So just look how awesome this little Boma restaurant at the Mountain Lodge looks. It was super nice. We even had some live music. And besides all the live music and the vibes, let's check out what we had for dinner. We had some pap, some shredded meat, and some gravy. We honestly have this all the time in South Africa, so it was nice to see it in Botswana as well. We are here for breakfast, and it's raining. A little switch up this time because we're having breakfast from the lodge, and there was a huge variety of stuff to choose from, just the cold breakfast, the cereals and whatnot, to a chef literally making your omelette fresh. And then even more options here. We have some bacon and sausages, or you could go for more sausages, or you could go for whatever that is. And I decided to have a starter breakfast with some muesli and some fresh fruit, and then I went for the full shebang. Lunch was an easy chicken mayo sandwich and an apple, as we were in transit to head to the Okavango Delta, where we had our dinner, which was soup as a starter, and then some nice main meal that I really loved, some chicken. I'll be honest, on this day I skipped breakfast because I woke up too late, but we're going straight into lunch. This was super stacked, like you're never gonna run out of food on safari. Straight into dinner, we had a nice performance before we ate, and then we started off with some soup and bread as your starter, and into the main course, some nice protein and starch and salad. Another lodge breakfast on day 7, and it's pretty much the same at the lodges. You're gonna get your tomatoes, your eggs, your bacon, and baked beans. Lunch was pretty much the same as the previous day, as we were in transit leaving the Okavango Delta to our next location.
This is malva pudding.
I think.
We arrived pretty late for dinner the next day, but it was pretty much a huge buffet of more meat than I can even imagine, and of course there was some vegetarian options as well, but I'm a meat eater, so I was focused on those ribs. Our next breakfast we kept super simple, as we were heading on the road for a long drive day, so we just had the cold breakfast option on this day, but it was still great.
There's some other games that do.
For lunch we had some nice tuna with some macaroni and salad. This went down really well, but then I went for the bonus of spicy noodles. This is not on the menu. I do not recommend you try this because I died. Dead. For dinner we had some hake, some carrots and peas, and butternut soup. This went down really well. I enjoyed this dinner for sure. Also we had some Corona, you know. Oh yes, we have Chef Norman back in the kitchen for our breakfast today, and it was super good with these tomatoes that I still make to this day because that recipe was on point. We had some eggs as well, some cheese, some ham. You can construct your own sandwich, and we also had the cereal and cold breakfast option, but I made the sandwich. For dinner, I skipped lunch as I was super full. For dinner, I had these starters of prawns and salad. That was amazing starter. And look at this main steak, baby. That's how we do it. So, in the end, my concerns about force-feeding baked beans were completely unnecessary. Because while meals are simple, they are filling, and there's a great variety of food. And often, they're surprisingly good. In our next episode, we're heading to one of the most popular safari destinations in Southern Africa, the Okavango Delta. And honestly, it was the highlight of the whole safari. Subscribe and I'll see you there.